What's up, y'all? It's your man, Dad Dude, bringing you guys another video. My channel is now over 150 subscribers, which may not seem like a lot, but it's a lot to me. So if you're watching the video and you haven't subscribed and you're so inclined, go hit that button. And while you're down there, leave a comment. I respond to almost everything. So, as we've all seen, Baker Mayfield has not gotten off to the start that we all hoped he would for this season. He has been inaccurate. He has abandoned clean pockets. He's gotten the jitters. He's felt pressure that wasn't really there and abandoned clean pockets. And he's had a lot of bad passes. But there are some things I believe the Panthers can do to help Baker Mayfield out. With the batted passes, you can't make Baker Mayfield taller. Even though he's not that much smaller than the average quarterback, you can't make him taller. I don't know if it's his height, if it's how he throws the ball, his angle of the release, or what. But the guy has a lot of batted passes. So the Panthers need to have more plays where you roll Baker Mayfield out of the pocket. You give him more clear lanes to throw the ball because he doesn't have these 6'5" offensive linemen right in front of him. And you do stuff like that. Also, which the protection kind of makes us hard, but not so many quick passes, not so many 3-step drops, maybe more 5 and 7 foot drops or 7-step drops, because a 3-step drop, a 3-step drop puts him fairly close to the offensive line, which clouds his vision even more. A 5-step drop or a 7-step drop, well, yeah, those plays take longer to develop, but you also give Baker Mayfield more space from his offensive line, more time to scan one. I shouldn't say more time, but more available space to scan the field and make a throw that way. Now, our offensive line hasn't been great in pass protection, so that makes that hard, but it would give him better throwing lanes. Also, play action. We got to establish the run more, because when you fake the ball to Christian McCaffrey, whatever running back's in, that sucks the linebackers up, and that'll give Baker Mayfield a better chance to throw the ball, those little quick slants and quick hitches and stuff like that. When your linebackers are sucked in, you can throw the ball over top of them. So plays like that will give him a better chance to complete a pass without getting the ball batted down at the line, because it's so demoralizing to see your quarterback drop back, wind up the throw, release the ball, and you're waiting to see if it's going to be caught, how long the pass is going to go for, and the ball just gets batted down at the line. That is so demoralizing for a fan. I can only imagine how bad it is for the team. So there are some things the Panthers can do to help that. Now, with him abandoning a clean pocket, there isn't much you can do to help that. That's mostly a Baker thing, but I do think that the 5 and 7-step drops will help with that, because he has more distance from the offensive line when he sets to make the throw. Maybe that makes him feel more comfortable. Maybe, he feels like there's not so many people around his feet, and so he won't abandon the pocket so quickly. But that's only the really thing I think can help with that. Maybe keep more people in for protection, but the more people you have protecting Baker, that's the less receivers you have out running routes. So let's say you run a 6 or even a 7-man protection. You only have 2 receivers out there running routes, or maybe you're a running back, but not a lot of people out there running routes. That's going to be a lot easier to cover. That's more like a boom or bust kind of play. Yeah, the added protection might give Baker more time to sit in the pocket, and if a receiver can get open deep. Or if that receiver is locked down and you have all these people protecting Baker, then he has no options to throw the ball. He either has to dunk the ball off or throw the ball out of bounds or take a sack. So, 6 or 7-man protections, they have their place in the game, but I'm not a huge fan of them unless you just really can't protect your quarterback at all. Now, with Baker's inaccuracy, this is something that I don't think you can really, again, help too much, but there are some plays you can run to give Baker wide open receivers, more rub routes, more wide receiver screens, but our screens haven't been too successful, but more passes to Christian McCaffrey, more giving McCaffrey routes out of the backfield, because we've seen it when McCaffrey gets matched up on a linebacker or even a safety, usually he overmatches those guys. He's too much for them to handle. So you get McCaffrey more passes out of backfield, more passes that are less than 10 yards, so maybe that 15 to 10 yard range, into a wide open receiver, which McCaffrey's usually wide open when he's catching his balls out of that backfield, because he's so quick and the defense just hasn't had time to get to him yet. So just give him more plays where the receiver is going to be wide open. We can't rely on the busted coverages we saw in week 1 against the Browns, where Ian Thomas is running wide open or Robbie Anderson is running wide open because of a busted coverage. You need to scheme your wide receivers open, which McAdoo hasn't really done yet. That play against the Giants, where DJ Moore was wide open in the end zone, now he might have been open regardless, but the defensive back on that play fell down. So we don't know if that guy hadn't fell down, how tight the coverage would have been, if Baker might have had to fit into a smaller window, if he could have made the throw or not. But luckily he didn't have to. DJ Moore was wide open, so we need more plays where receivers are wide open. And you can do that with scheme. You can't do it deep down the field, but in that intermediate, the short range, you can scheme your receivers to be wide open. And so McAdoo needs to do more of that stuff. But there are some things the Panthers can do to help Baker out. Even though he's been disappointing to start the year, it's not all his fault. Like, the team has not really done him any favors. We didn't really establish a run against Cleveland in week 1, and our receivers against the Giants didn't really help him out too much. Shi Smith had an abysmal game. But some of this also falls on Baker. He just hasn't played well. Whether or not your team around you is helping you out much, it is the job of the quarterback to elevate the talent around him, and Baker hasn't done that. Now, I'm not really a believer that Baker Mayfield is someone who can elevate the talent around him, but that's just how I view Baker. He still has to try. The team should expect that of him, to be someone who can elevate the talent around him, because he's a number 1 overall pick. That is what you expect of someone who is a number 1 overall pick. So Baker needs to show it. He still has time. There's still plenty of time left in the season. But the clock is ticking, and the Panthers do need to help Baker out. They shouldn't throw him out there with a bland game plan, with plays that are easy to read. They need to utilize Christian McCaffrey a little more, because he's the best player on the offense. And yeah, when I thought this offense in particular was going to be a little better, I was fine with McCaffrey getting the 15 to 20 touches a game. But now that I see that his offense is so anemic, yeah, use Christian McCaffrey more. He's your best player. He's just about as close to guaranteed production as you have on the Panthers roster. Use him more, because the offense is pretty anemic without him. So feed him the ball, whether it be handoffs, whether it be like dump off passes, or wheel routes, or little seam routes to the running back. Whatever you have to do to get McCaffrey the ball, do that, because right now the Panthers are really out of options. They just have to whatever works, you got to do it over and over again, because they don't have the luxury of really spreading the ball around and being a very offense that has so many weapons all over the field. They don't have that luxury anymore, because they've shown that when they try to do that, they can't. So go back to old faithful, old tried and true. Go to McCaffrey, and it will help Baker Mayfield. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go hit that thumbs up. And if you are so inclined, subscribe and leave a comment. I respond to almost everything. And I'll see you guys in the next one.